Well, welcome to the Zag Talk Podcast Live. My name is Guy Danhoff, and tonight you're in for a very special treat as we are bringing to you live. We're going to be going TikTok for Beginners Part 2, and we're going to introduce a brand new free video editor app called CapCut. I'm going to be joined with Michelle Huff, my co-host. Michelle, how are you?
I'm doing great, Guy. I'm so excited for part 2. Even if anybody missed part 1, you can always go back on YouTube, Shape America, or the Zag Talk podcast. But you'll catch up. So I'm excited to go for part 2, Guy.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead. Michelle, why don't you tell us our disclaimer for this podcast?
Okay. So, teachers out there, educators, professionals, a disclaimer before using TikTok in an educational setting, check in with your school's social media policy.
All right. How about that? We've already got, see, if you are live, you can go into the comments and you can go ahead and start adding comments in. If you want to ask us questions, feel free. We are going to do our best to bring all your comments, but you have to be on Shape America's YouTube, and you can just check any of the social media posts. Yeah, there we go. We got hello from Minnesota.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we got Jennifer and Jessica in the house. All right. As we continue forward, let's talk a little bit, Michelle. Let's talk about TikTok by the numbers.
Let's do
And here's a few fun facts. But right now, TikTok is the most popular overall downloaded app globally in 2020, 2021. And I know right now that it is trending to be 2022. No surprise here, right, Michelle?
No surprise. Any article you read, any book, it's all predicting that TikTok is going up. And if we don't get on this train now, then by next year we're going to be behind. So we want all our health, physical educators, our educators in general to get on board so we can start advocating on another social media platform.
Absolutely. Got a few more shout outs. There's Mark right there in your home state. He says,
Yep,
let's zag.
Jersey. Hey, Mark.
I know, back in Jersey. And here's Bo Phillips. Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
Got ready to learn about TikTok. Bo, we love you, man. We absolutely love you. So here we go. So, Michelle, one of the things that we talked about on actually the very first time we did this a few weeks ago, and that is that nearly 70% of US teenagers are not just have the platform, but they are regular TikTok users. And one of the things that you discovered is that kind of played out in your classrooms because you teach basically 7th all the way through high school, correct?
Yeah. So combined, I have about 200 plus students through 7th through 9th. I mean, 7th through 12th. And I did a survey about what, I had them rank all the different social media platforms that they use. And number 1 was head on TikTok. And then it was the Snapchat, Instagram were kind of 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah. And what was also interesting, just a few weeks ago, I was doing actually a focus group looking at, again, teenagers from the ages of 15 to 19. And what we found when we asked the question, what were their top 3 social media platforms in rank order? Number 1, no surprise, TikTok. Number 2, Snapchat. And number 3, Instagram. Again, if we want to connect with this audience, and for a lot of us that are maybe viewing right now, those are our students, and again, in these teenage years, also the young professionals, as well as the future professionals, they're kind of in this ballpark. And this is why this platform is so important moving forward. Now, this is me. I know I'm getting really excited, but what I love about TikTok, it is the highest social media engagement rates per post. And when I say highest, I mean, for example, if you look at what is on YouTube, you look at what's on even Instagram, what you're seeing on TikTok, the phenomenon is you're seeing actually close to double digits in more engagement, and meaning it is the highest. So if you want to quickly have impact, one of the things you can easily do is, again, see that per post using that platform, TikTok. And then another thing, Michelle, talk to us about what happens with people opening up TikTok every day.
When they open up TikTok every day and be consistent, their posts are going to start showing up more and more on your For You page. So another thing I wanted to add real quick too, guys, if you haven't created a TikTok, you might want to use the same username as maybe your Twitter. This way your followers can find you. That's one thing that I've learned recently that is because this way you can find them quicker. And the more you post, the more views you're going to get, especially in the beginning. So you want to have a niche, figure that out. And you do that we'll show you a little bit later, but we'll show you like scrolling through what do you want to show your audience and what message do you want to display and advocate.
Absolutely. And the last thing, this is going to be new. We put this into billing. If you've not heard about CapCut, we're going to bring on a guest that's going to talk to you all about CapCut. We were actually introduced to it by Bob Borden out of Illinois, the amazing state of Illinois. I'm actually from there. Most people don't realize that. They think I'm from Missouri, but I'm not. I'm actually from Illinois. I've just been living in St. Louis for the last 20 years. But we're going to learn all about CapCut. And what's interesting, it's a free all-in-one editing app. However, it has the same parent company as TikTok. And what is so cool about that is the integration of how this app can be used, whether you're on TikTok. Now, Michelle, we're going to talk about this tonight. Facebook now has Reels. That just is a brand new development. Again, kind of copycatting what TikTok's doing. And then, of course, we always know about Instagram Reels. But Instagram has done some really cool things to make that a lot easier to post across platforms. So we're going to dive into that tonight as well. So, Michelle, it's testimony time.
Yes.
Set the table. What's about to happen?
Okay. So these two lovely ladies were on with us. Well, actually, I zag-bombed this one, but Guy was interviewing them because they're Shape America National Teachers of the Year. And they hadn't used TikTok yet. And they decided that they want to use their platform and utilize it the best they can as National Teachers of the Year and just in support of our health and PE profession. And so they got a TikTok, and I'm just going to let them talk to you, but I'm going to first introduce our Shape America National Health Education Teacher of the Year, Jessica Matheson.
Hi.
Hey, Jess.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We are so excited. And Jessica, I know that you've got some really fun stuff planned for us because your journey has been really unique and cool, as well as why don't you introduce your co-partner from the great state of Minnesota, another National Teacher Year, and who might that be?
We got, again, from the great state of Minnesota, Jen Hebank.
All right. Good to be back.
Good to have you back. This is going to be fun. So, Michelle, I'll let you start with the question.
So, first, I'm just going to ask the both of you. I'll ask Jess first. What did you think of TikTok before we talked about it 2 weeks ago when we were on? What were your thoughts about TikTok?
Okay, so truthfully, I was like, okay, I don't need another social media thing. I already have screen time limits on my Facebook and my Twitter that I bypass all the time. I don't need to be on my phone anymore. And I wasn't quite sure kind of what it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. We're going to pause there because we will tell the audience later where you're at now. But Jen, what about you? How did you feel prior?
I kind of the same as Jess, a little bit nervous about like what it was, just because like I've heard such negative things about it because of like the TikTok challenges against teachers. I'm like, I don't want to support that. Like that wouldn't be cool. But also just like realizing how many kids were on it. I was like, oh, do I really want them to see my stuff? So like the privacy, like I was kind of just nervous and didn't want to have one more social media thing. But
so, Jen, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Talk to us about the experience of your first TikTok, because this session is titled TikToks for Beginners.
Yeah. So I decided after talking to Michelle a little bit that I just need to like see what it's about. Right. So I like got an account and I kind of was just like scrolling through it. I hadn't posted anything yet. Like I kind of just needed to get the hang of what it was all about.
Yep.
And so finally I was like, well, I can do something simple. I'll just grab a couple of pictures from when Jess and I were presenters in Iowa, and let's just see what happens with it. So you can go ahead and play that first TikTok because I have it. Hashtag my first TikTok, always hashtag. Go ahead.
All right.
So that one I posted and I got like, it's still going, but like 300 views on it. And what I noticed the difference between like Instagram and Facebook is that TikTok is quick and you share and it's out there and
Yep.
like people view it. And so that was like a little bit different for me. Also just making it super simple with a background and like a caption, like 0 time basically. So that was my first one. And then I kind of thought about like, what do I want my niche to be? Because I'm an adapted PE teacher. I'm not in school right now. So I just like went back through all of my photos and videos, like, what can I share? I don't want to post anything with my students on it until I have permission. And I don't want to put my own kids on there because that's not what I'm here for. That's just, you know, what I'm thinking about. So when I come back to school, I want to do a lot more like adapted PE hacks. Like, what does it look like to be an adapted PE teacher? Because in some places they don't have an adapted PE and we don't know how to make adaptations, modifications for kids. So that's going to be another niche. So I'd like to share that really quick.
All right. So here we go.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at its most basic root, inclusion starts with just noticing other people. And so helping your kids notice when kids are excluded. Hey, do you see that kid over there? He's kind of by himself. What do you think we could do about that? Or you see a student in a wheelchair and you ask the parents, you know, can we come over and say hi to your kid? Or just go over to the kid and say, hey, what's your name? Like, just like any other kid. Just normalizing some of those conversations. I know that I didn't have that growing up. And so I really had to work on being brave to just approach someone with a disability. And literally like noticing other people is going to be the skill that carries your kids into that next step. One thing that's really cool that's happening in Buffalo right now.
And I left them hanging. I think it's great because then they're like, ooh, what else is happening? But this one, so this specific one is, yeah, I was in an interview with one of my friends who's building a page for like their real estate business. I'm like, well, I'm going to talk about what my platform is. So I might as well just grab that on my video. You know, we're talking on Zoom and I just set up my phone and recorded it. But that was something that, you know, I want to share my platform as a Shape America National Teacher of the Year. And that really kind of describes who I am, what I'm about. And I want to put that out into the world. Like, I feel like people need to hear this kind of stuff. And so I'm hoping to kind of grab some of those bits and pieces and sound bites and be able to put those on as well. So that's another thing. And I know, do you have my hack, the badminton hack?
Yeah.
So let's play that one. This is like, these are what I want to go back to when I go back to school, just to share kind of some of my PE hacks.
Yep.
All right, so if your students are struggling with more of a tennis hit for a serve, what I like to tell my students is draw a line with your racket over the line so that it stays nice and straight. Line over the line.
So what I love about that one specifically that's different from Twitter and Facebook is that I was able to put like a caption on the picture. And it will come up like if you calibrate the captions for people who are hearing impaired or if people are just listening without noise, like that's what I love about that. And so I'm hoping to have a lot more of those. I have so many tips and tricks that I can share to help people get better at what they do. I think my last one, like I figured out there's like kind of a humor portion of TikTok that I'm not really good at, but after a while I kind of like got the hang of it. And TikTok has these really amazing trends that if you get on board with, like it will take off. So this next one, so my hack video showed like 500 views. This next one is like 1.6K. And that happened within 12 hours. And I only have like 150 followers or something like that, like just over 100 followers. So go ahead and show that last one and I'll kind of talk about it.
I saw that on my For You page and was cracking up, like laughing out loud when I saw that one morning.
Yeah, so I'm starting to figure out a little bit of like the humor tricks, and what I love about some of the viral like background music is that it'll pull in just like an earworm, and then you're listening to it in your head all day and you can't get it out of your head, and that's what's so addicting. But with the humor part, like I love like just thinking of, okay, people are like watching me eat grapes, but then I have this like bam, like this punchline of a joke, and like the background music of that reminded me of like growing up, we were always on Macintosh computers, but so they would like boot up, but then like the blue screen of death would come up and be like boop. So that's kind of what it reminded me of. And so like I have all these ideas now, and I'm hoping that some of the parents that I work with that really love what I do and what their kids do will be able to like jump on board and do some unified stuff with me. But honestly, like in using it, like the last 2 weeks, I tried to post something every day just to like get it going, even if it was just like I was rollerblading down a trail. I had 2 seconds of film or whatever, and I just made like a quick little video. But what I found is like Twitter is full of phys ed and health ed and adapted PE, but honestly like TikTok is untouched by phy ed teachers. And there are a couple of really good phy ed teachers that are on TikTok, and there's only a few of us, and like so many students are on TikTok, like they're not coming to Twitter.
Correct.
Nope. They're not coming to Twitter unless they're in like a college class and they get instructed. So I feel like Twitter's like the grandpa, and TikTok is like the teenager, like the up and coming like preppy kid. Like it's ready. Like we gotta hop over there and really be able to spread our messages. And that's what I feel like, there's this giant opportunity, and I'm starting to see it a little bit. And so wherever I go, I'm gonna try and just say, come to TikTok. So that's me. That's what I got.
That's great, Jen. It's bridging the gap. It's bridging the gap because the youth, as we see, almost 70% are using TikTok the most. It's like, let's get along, let's start. And this is your testimony after 2 weeks. So thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so Jessica, I've had the chance to talk to you even while you've been on a bike ride. You've also been on runs, and it's really unique the times that we get a chance to talk. Exactly. You answer. You're absolutely crazy for answering, but I'm thankful that you do. So Jessica, you started the exact same day as did obviously your good friend Jen, but talk to us a little bit about the way you use it, and then also set up the clip that we're going to show, because this is yet another way that you can certainly use TikTok, but kind of give us your kind of mindset on how you plan, and you're using it now, and maybe how you plan to use it in the future.
Yeah. So right now for me, I'm just kind of having fun with it. And it's more kind of a day in the life of me. And so I'm in a unique situation where I'm not returning to the classroom. So when I'm trying to figure out not returning to the classroom this year. Anyway, when I'm trying to figure out what I want my platform to be, I'm kind of just stuck because I want to help teachers out, but not having those daily interactions and not having any clips from school. I'm just kind of struggling with what I want to be. So right now it's just kind of, in Minnesota, it's still summertime here. We don't start school until after Labor Day. So I'm just kind of doing my thing and just learning TikTok. Funny little story. Yesterday, my daughter brought home a balloon from a neighbor's. They blew it up and she was hitting it around. And she goes, "Mom, if I bring this outside, is it going to go up into the sky?" And I said, "No, honey, it's not, because there's no helium in it." And she goes, "Did you learn that on TikTok?" Okay. She's 3. Okay. She is 3. So like right now, you'll see if you went on mine, there's one of my daughter and we found this vampire filter that she selected and she thought was just hilarious. So unlike Jen, I have my kids because right now I don't really have anything else. So it's just kind of us and things that we do. But the thing that I want to seriously consider and continue in the future is just when I have opportunities to go places and do different things, I really enjoy doing the recaps of where I've been. So let's give a little snippet of one I just made today.
And this is from Shape Nola, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's check out your journey. Boy, was that fun.
Yeah. So it's just, I'm almost just using it just as a way. I mean, it's almost personal, so I can just throw everything together just for myself as well. And it's so, I mean, I did no editing on that on TikTok. I put it all in. I picked the song because the song that they suggested had a couple F-bombs. They must know my mind or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was not appropriate. So, I just changed the song and that was it.
Well,
I love that. I did the same thing when we got back from Shape Nola. I put one together of just pictures and memories. And then it's just great to see the camaraderie, the rapport between all of us professionals in the field and sharing that on TikTok. And like Jen said before, you never know who's going to see your video because the algorithm is just like is out there. So anyone can.
Absolutely. So Jessica, just thanks for being so honest because, and I think this will be coming out in a book that I'm working on, for my next chapter, but it's going to be that sometimes I think you got to create content just for you. And I would consider that almost like self-care for yourself, right? Again, if you get no views, you get no views. But if it's something, that like that, for example, that was fun for us to watch, because obviously I was there, but I didn't see your entire journey. I saw part of those things, but to see all the other things you did, that was kind of cool, and I'm just glad that you shared that because I think in some cases, there's nothing wrong with doing something for yourself. When you put out some content, even though a majority of the time it's going to be obviously going to be focusing on certainly your audience. But I can just say this, the way I've been using, and you guys all know this, but the way I've been using TikTok has been just doing my 80s rock guitar stuff for now. I know come our convention in November, no, you'll be seeing, me advocating big time, especially with this great team that we have at MoShape that you'll hear from Chris a little bit later. But, I just appreciate, your perspective, Jessica. Also, Jen, your perspective. You gave us a good variety of different ways that we can start thinking about TikTok. Also, that's easy to be now also made in Instagram Reels. And as we now know, it's going to be really interesting now that Facebook has Reels because I just started posting a few of them in the last few days as well. So just want to thank both of you for coming on.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
this was a treat from our National Teachers of the Year 2022.
2 weeks on TikTok and look at
2
that.
weeks on TikTok, I know.
Audience, you could do it too. You could do it too. Our National Teachers of the Year right here. Thank you both so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on and being so
Thank
authentic
you.
and real.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. See ya. All right, Michelle, wasn't that fun?
That was amazing. Like,
That was a
look
lot
at
of
that.
fun.
In 2 weeks, they're getting thousands of views.
Well,
And the
that's
thing
but
about TikTok is, like, you could see something from 50 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? It could pop up on your For You page.
right.
So it keeps going. But you want to start with our next level since we're going into part 2 right now.
Yeah, this is part 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up from where we left off in part 1, and we're going to level up, and we're going to talk about TikTok tips and tricks. And our first one is make your content worth replaying and easy to replay. One of the things I learned from doing my focus group is that actually when content is sitting in a feed, believe it or not, those teenagers, they want their TikTok on autoplay. They don't want to have to touch anything. That was a big reveal for me. So just letting you know about that. Michelle, what else do we have?
Well, also with that, even putting captions like wait till the end or like just wait or, things like that, which we'll get more into. People want to continue watching and they'll even want to watch it again because like, wait, what just happened? But you want to make your content accessible.
Absolutely. And the other piece of that, and I speak this all the time, is when make your content engaging. For example, look at Jessica's video. It was very uplifting. It was a song we all know. It was fun. She gave us a wide variety of all the different locations that she was in New Orleans, and that was what made it, very engaging for me. And what's our next tip?
So just like Jessica was saying, like adjust your niche to your audience's needs. Like we all don't have to post the same thing, but the part of us joining all together across the country, globally, it's like when I see Cindy on here, like I repost her videos. It's just a way so that now my viewers can see Cindy's, and then it goes on and on. Same with Jen, same with Jess. So we want to keep continuing to lift up our profession as much as we can by helping one another. So your audience's needs, like Jen spoke authentically in what she's going to want to do when she goes back to school. Jess is living her life personally, and she's going to be continuing to share memories and things like that right now. But you want to have your audience. And the thing is, you want to engage with your audience, as the guy said. So when they comment back, go like their stuff. Then you become like, you want to be trusted by them, so that you can gain trust back and forth. And then it's like, oh, wow, like you're liking each other's things. And then you can continually will pop up on their page.
Yeah. And then your next one is make a text title for your video. You know what? I want to show an example of that because you gave me one. So I'm going to go ahead and play this right now for us. Okay. I'm going to change our view to here and I'll go ahead and play this. So talk to us a little bit about that. I'll play it one more time so everyone can see because it's so short.
See, the thing about those, it can be so short that look, you just replayed it. So now I got another view. Just saying. Actually, Shape America got another view, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So that's why short clips sometimes are great. Sometimes longer. I mean, it's up to you. You want to find your niche and just dive into that. But with the text title, there's also putting text up. It can pop up like if you want to do tips and tricks, phys ed tips and tricks. Like then people search in the search box, then that will pop up. That or could pop up. Also, there's when you go to post a video, there's a cover photo. So you can adjust that, and you could even put a text title on the cover photo so that if anybody views your profile, so if guy goes to @MissHuff_HB, he can see, oh, this one's about phys ed tips and tricks. Oh, this one's advocating for health education. Oh, this one is her softball team. Like, because I'm putting a title on it rather than it just being a picture. So it enhances things for your audience.
Absolutely. And then talk to us about become your audience's trusted, unique source in your field. What do you mean by that?
Well, that's what I was kind of getting into. Like there's one that I sent you that you'll probably play soon. But like a positive teacher follow loop. So it wasn't just health and phys ed teachers, it's all educators. And it's like you want to put it's an audio, which you could create your own audios, but we'll get there at some point. But you can write on there's comment and put health and PE. I'm from Jersey. Like they'll ask you that, and then you follow them, and then it's like follow for follow. So then they follow you, and then you continue that going.
I'm going to go ahead and play that because it's the positive teacher one, correct?
Yep.
I think we need a positive I love teaching follow loop. Comment what you teach, where you're from, follow the other people in the comments, and use the sound for you.
Point is, remember we talked about the engagement piece? That's exactly what the audience or that your audience is being able to do.
I think we need a positive I love teaching follow loop. Comment what you teach, where you're from, follow the other people in the comments, and use the sound for you.
And so many followers, and now I get to see their stuff. I had 318 likes, like 6,000 or almost 7,000 views, and 55 comments. Like it's just engaging. So you want to like begin to know them, like ask them about it. Like people were saying they're from Seattle, and I'm like, yo, we're going there for a national convention this year. So it's just a way of communicating and helping one another.
Absolutely. As we kind of round out our top 10, let's also look
at.
I
love how Jen just said she has to do a positive teacher loop. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to us about number 7.
All right. So make a killer profile. So you want to have your bio, like when you set up your bio, you know, have it be like mine is health and phys ed. Mine's God first, health and phys ed softball coach, because that's the stuff that I put up. Because I'm advocating for health and PE. I'm also a softball coach, so I'm always advocating for my girls. And God, because that's why I'm here, and honestly having this opportunity right now to speak to all of you. So whatever whatever highlights your life and who you are, just be authentic. You could put whatever your niche is. You could put a picture. I have my health moves minds in my picture. This way it's like all different colors, Shape America. And then I put be you. I like to be authentic. Like I'm silly. Like I'll do TikToks on my break with the middle school teachers, and then I'll go up to the high school, and they're like, "Oh, we saw your TikTok with Miss Gilbert. Tell her we said hi." And it's just a great way of connecting, and that's just a little snippet of like why people go and see, rather than just seeing at user 125. You want to make sure that you create a username that people can find you.
Absolutely. And then your most important thing is be you. That's what we've been saying this whole broadcast. We said that in our part 1 podcast as well. The most important thing is just to be yourself, be authentic, be real, be who you are. Look, I am a former 80s rocker. I take no shame in that. Whether you dig it or not, it's cool if you don't. But if you do, hopefully you still like the jams that I do. But that's me. I mean, that's who I am. And that's why I love seeing all these following other people on TikTok, because they're all being themselves as well. And here's a comment. Yes. Or a trending song that has nothing to do with what you are posting, but you're using a trending song. Yeah. Again, it's getting into those conversations that are trending. And it's much like any of the other platforms. But again, TikTok's really unique that when these things explode, they explode. So yeah, exactly. So with that, this one, you hear me talk about almost every single time I get a chance to talk, and that is we've got to continue to connect and build a community through these networks, and certainly with other TikTokers to collaborate. I'm going to tell you right now, for as much as maybe I'm teaching you right now, I have learned a lot from you. Certainly our next guest that we're going to have in just a second, we learned about CapCut from her, and it's kind of changed what I've done and the way I approach things, because that app is so ridiculously easy to use. Michelle, talk to us about number 9.
So this will end up, we'll be talking about this again with CapCut, but practice the mechanics of the app until you feel comfortable and fluent. So there's no, you could draft things. Like, you don't have to post everything you record. You could put it in your draft and be like, oh, maybe I could do this in a different way or with a different background. I mean, it's up to you. So don't think that there's a certain way you have to do it. It's authentic. It's real. You want to be you. I love when, like, it's just like getting, like, my students, even my former students, when they see me pop up and it's like, I did a role model one and they're like, you're my role model. And it's just like, how that's so rewarding. That's why I teach. That's why I love what I do.
So Michelle, we have a question for Mark. Why don't you go ahead and take it?
Okay, so Mark, how do your TikTok videos promote the growth of our health and PE profession? And what inspires you for video storytelling and content for our teachers out there? This is why we're here right now, Mark, is because we want more health and PE teachers to get on board with TikTok, because then our students that are using this platform will be able to connect with health and phys ed. My students don't say gym anymore. Believe me, when I went there, when I moved schools 2 years ago, they called it gym class. Now it's health and phys ed. Now they see a teacher that is their teacher, but they also see part of my real life, but also like the tips and why health and PE is so important. So, and inspire, like, my students inspire me. So I stepped out of my comfort zone and I'm like, if not me, then who? And why not?
Right.
So if I have to do it, I'm going to do it because I want to advocate for our health and PE and just the best for our kids because they deserve it.
Right. And Mark, and you know this about me, what inspires me is simply there's so many amazing stories. There's so many teachers on the front line. There are so many administrators. There are certainly opportunities for, even grants and funding. And I just love being able to tell the stories of whether you're a teacher, administrator, a school, even student success stories, whatever the case may be. We want to advocate for our profession because this is the time right now that we can certainly jump into these conversations. And why? Because we know that HPE is SEL. We know that. Shape America just put out a video on SEL and some of the newer resources. And we know that. And still, mental health is still on the top of the conversations that are still going on, as most of us have started back at school. And a few of you will be back at school very soon after a few weeks. So, Mark, that's what inspires me. And we're advocating for our teachers. And what we want to be able to say is, like, look, use these tools. You can take your time, but use these tools to advocate, or use it to teach, or use it, Jen showed that great thing on badminton. I can tell you right now, so if I had Jen as my physical education teacher showing me badminton, I can promise you, I probably would have been class champion because I wouldn't have kept hitting the stinking bird into the net.
No, I literally had a student tell me, pretend it's like you're doing a big scoop of ice cream, Miss Huff, a big scoop of ice cream. I'm like, okay, I use that all the time now. But Mark, it's our students. We're got to bridge the gap at some point, and this is the new platform. And it's kind of like, if you haven't tried it yet, why not? Like, just give it a chance. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But all your videos, they would be amazing on TikTok. Then your students can see, like, what's going on, what you're promoting for our health and PE on Twitter, but also on TikTok too. So just an encouraging message if you want to start doing that.
Mark, this is a great question, and we're going to have Chris on in just a little bit. He's our board of director. He and I communicate almost daily. I also communicate with our president as well as with our executive director on this. We know, strategically speaking, we need to be on TikTok. And why? Because our audience is there. Our future professionals are there. Our students are there. And we want to help lead the way and help educate on how we can maximize our effectiveness using this for advocacy, using this as a professional, using it to teach skills, using it to teach activities. And in some cases, there's nothing wrong with, and sometimes just to make people laugh. That's why I love Jen's video of that. She's eating the grapes, and all of a sudden, she talks about her perfume, and it's that
the dry erase,
dry erase thing. That was funny. But Mark, to your question, look, it's all going to happen over time, and it's by a collective voice, just like we've done with Twitter. And we've been starting to do more and more with YouTube. And certainly you're starting to see us do more and more with Instagram. I can share this with you, Mark, that right now, if you look at just the last couple of months, a lot of the content that's getting put out, whether it's Shape America, MoShape, even with what I'm doing at the university, because I manage our MBU football account, we're seeing 3 times more views on Instagram today than we are on Twitter. And so when you ask the question, could this lead the way or be one of the platforms that we use, the answer would be yes. But like anything else, some of it is going to be, trial and error, right? We've never done this before. We've never had this kind of technology before. But here's the thing: we know where the audience is. That's the first step in the battle, and we can learn from each other. And that's why, like tonight, this is just us learning all together. I don't have every answer for Tick Tock. Michelle doesn't, but I can tell you this: we certainly have a better understanding now than we ever have in terms of how we can start to use this for our profession. And I think what's going to be really funny, and Joey Martelli of Shape America said this to me from our first broadcast just a few weeks ago. He said, it's going to be fun to see what this looks like exactly 1 year from today and what we're doing and the impact that we're making.
I'm so excited.
And it'll be kind of funny to look back at this broadcast, looking at where we were, considering what we'll be able to do moving forward. So with that, Mark, thanks for the question.
Yes,
More
thanks.
questions.
Real quick, guy, my admin is on TikTok. So you see principals on TikTok. So that's even better. Educating, advocating. It's all about that.
So Michelle, it is time to bring on our special guest all the way from Illinois.
Dun, 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 dun. Drum roll, please.
Yep. And there she is. We're going to bring
Barbara Bourdain.
Let's bring Barbara on. Here we go. Barbara, you are on Zag Talk Podcast Live. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing? Good. You can call me Barb. Barbara is so
formal.
Yeah.
I saw that. Okay. Hey, Barb. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
So excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Everything.
So, Barb, where we want to start is you've got a very unique and cool story. I'm going to be honest. Every person I interview in this profession always has an interesting story. So why don't you kind of give us briefly a little bit about your background? Because I got to tell you, we got a chance to interview just a few days ago.
Yeah.
It was really fun to get to know your background and how you got to be teaching physical education for K through 2.
Yeah, I definitely have a different path than most people. I was out of teaching for a while because I have 4 kids. And so I took like an 11-year hiatus. And when I went to get back into the classroom, I went in for an interview and they really liked me, but I was kind of like not, I've been out of the picture for a while. So they were like, we really like you, but, we don't have an opening where we think you would fit. So what do you think about becoming the library clerk? And I was like, what? Okay. I don't even know what a library clerk is. I mean, I'm thinking like, where you wear the hat and I have these glasses or something. I'm not even sure what it is, but I'm like, okay, I guess, and then I remember being like, I'm not really sure what this is. And then I come to find out it's the librarian. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I got off the phone with the principal and I was just kind of crushed, because I had my heart set on having a classroom of my own. And my son at the time was in 1st grade and he was at the school that I was going to teach at. And, I was like, I just really wanted my own classroom. And he's like, but Mama, if you teach in the library, you're going to have the biggest room in the whole school. And I was like, all right, and then, so I was like, I'm going to make this place my own. And I like decorated it. I made it like this big jungle theme. I brought animals into the library, live animals, like lizards and frogs and all this stuff. And we did all kinds of crazy stuff. And, then I just kind of got really in with admin and they liked me. And then a technology position opened. And then I became the technology teacher, which was crazy because, I'm like, all right, now I'm doing this technology and I'm teaching kids all computer stuff, which is kind of where I started with my YouTube channel, because kids just couldn't understand like how to turn the computer on. And you know, at the time our screens all went blue and you had to press Control Alt Delete at the same time. And the kids were, I mean, I'm not kidding you, that was a big problem to get kids to do press Control Alt Delete. So I started with this bunny ears and a disco finger, and then I made this stupid video where I actually, if you look on my YouTube video, I'm doing like, I have a big Michael Jackson wig. I'm wearing like this 70s. I'm like, Control Alt Delete, everybody get the beat. And I mean, I'm acting like a complete idiot, but I will tell you what, every kid knew how to get the computer screen to go to start. So, but fast forward a couple of years, a PE position opens, and I'm like, man, I'd love that. That's my background. And my principal was like, you have a background in PE? I was like, yeah. She's like, are you serious? Give me your credentials. And then I gave her everything. And she's like, hold on, you have adapted PE? Oh my God, you're hired. And so, yeah. And then, so I've been in K2 PE. This is my 5th year and I love it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing anymore. I got my groove. This is where
and Barb, also, you're also on the social media team for, iAFERD, right?
Yes. Yes. That was new. Cindy Cortina's vote and I are new on the social media committee. So Kelly Zerby, Mark Fulmer, and Becky Fulmer, Bill Casey, all part of the social media. Cindy and I joined, and we said, we'll take on that TikTok. Let's try TikTok, and see what we can come up with. We're just kind of winging it. We're a couple of noobs doing, whatever, some crazy, silly stuff. And we figured, why not?
Absolutely. So talk to us about your very first TikTok, because we actually found that footage and we're going to embarrass you if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So my very first one happened to be when it was COVID. And, I was like, what can I do to reach these kids? My kids are younger.
Yep.
So they're not really TikTok, but actually a lot of them are, but I thought, at the time it was that shoe challenge where you kick your shoe and all of a sudden you're in a different outfit. So I got at the time, 13-year-old. I was like, will you help me with this? How do I do this? And he showed me, and, I kicked over a lamp on my first try. I was like, whoa, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, I'm done. I'm not helping you anymore. And I was like, no, please. I think I can do this. And then, so I do it, and then he was like, that's actually pretty good. And I was like, all right. And I posted it, but I didn't know I had to have all the hashtags because I was a total noob. So I just posted it and I got like over 800 views. And then I think I put it on Twitter, and a few people were like, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know. My 13-year-old showed me how.
Well, let's go ahead and run that clip. What do you say?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so my timing was pretty good. He was like, yeah, that wasn't bad. And it was my way of telling the kids, like, hey, everybody get out of your pajamas. It's time for PE. That was like my, thing. I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to bring Michelle back. Michelle.
I was just laughing. Because that's so great, because as we talk, that's when I started using TikTok, was during the pandemic. I never thought I would. And then I'm like, I got to reach my kids. And so I love that. I love that. It was awesome.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, but I didn't know all the hashtags were so important at that time. And then I really just kind of posted sporadically. And then when we joined, Cindy Cortina's vote also has a personal account as well. And she does a lot of cooking stuff, which are awesome. If you're not following Cindy, she's an awesome cook. But yeah, and then we got together, and she did a Shape NOLA one right after we got back. And, we just we always talk about, hey, this would be a good one. And different, like you guys said, different trends that are happening, this hashtags being really important. And yeah, that one with the so after Cindy had done, she had done 2, and I'm like, man, I'm really slacking here. I need to do something. So I was going to go buy pool noodles because, you know, every PE teacher buys pool noodles at the end of summer. And I was like, oh my God, I got an idea. And I was like getting my daughter to help me video. And I was like, hey, I'm going to come out of Five Below with all my pool noodles. And, you know, she's like, oh my God, you're an idiot. And I was like, that's okay. I'm going to post it. And the next thing I know, you know, Cindy and I AFER'd, we had about 44 followers. And after that video, which it's probably been going for about a month, maybe, I'm not,
Yep.
and we're up to 909 followers as of the last time I checked.
Barb, that's amazing. And also the video clip we're going to show, I know it caught my attention instantly. This is when I knew I wanted to have you on the Zag Talk podcast. And then we'll get into CapCut. But
Okay.
go ahead and play this clip.
Sure.
How many views?
I don't know. I haven't checked. The last time I looked, it's very close to 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. 500,000.
Yeah, it's pretty darn amazing. And yeah,
Yeah.
Jen's correct. Exactly. The pool noodle is one of the best.
That's
It was just the way you did it. It was, you know, you tiptoed with the music and you had just all those
Yeah.
noodles. It was just absolutely priceless.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I actually bought all those noodles too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cindy says over 400,000 views on that. So
Yeah.
that's really good. So, you know, what we kind of want to talk about a little bit now, Barb, talk to us about CapCut.
Sure.
Because as I said, it's a free all-in-one video editing app, and kind of, you know, give our audience a little sense of why they should download it, like literally right now.
Yeah.
Today.
Oh my gosh. It is literally the easiest tool to use. You can drop in multiple like videos, pictures, and then trim and add, you know, sound effects. You can speed it up. It is very, very user friendly. In fact, so my son, who is 11, is on TikTok, and he has been posting his basketball videos and football videos and all this. And he has these awesome like effects. And I'm like, how did you do that? And it was CapCut. And so I'm like, will you show me how to use it? And he one time showed me how to use it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so easy. So I started, you know, just putting some videos in, and I don't use it all the time, you know, for like, it depends on what it is. If I have like multiple videos that I want to edit and cut, I'm telling you, it is just ideal. It couldn't be easier.
Well, Barb, I want to actually share my own testimony because I had never heard of CapCut before you. I even said it wrong last week.
Yeah.
I called it CapCut, which I even said it wrong.
Yeah.
But now I'm saying CapCut. Yeah, exactly. But I want to say this, Barb, that after you introduced it to us on our show, Michelle and I both downloaded it immediately. A couple of other people in our state of Missouri did also.
Yeah.
And I want to show you my very first CapCut video that when it hit in 12 hours, it got over 10,000 views. And this was me. I do some work with our football team on social media, and they were running some drills. And I got to show you this as I packaged this on CapCut, and I even left at the very end. You can chop off the CapCut thing at the end, but I wanted to leave it on there so people could see the platform that I use this. And so let's go ahead. This is from football practice, and all I can tell you is if you're not ready for the football season right now, this video will get you ready. Here we go.
That's cool.
So Barb, there you go. First video, 10,000 views, another 2,500 on Twitter. You know, so over 12,500 views. Obviously, there's more now, but I'm saying that was just in the first 12 hours.
That's
and
awesome.
To your point, CapCut is the easiest video editing app / you can also put it on your laptop, or you can put it on your tablet,
Yeah.
or you can put it on your phone. I use it off my phone, but it is ridiculously easy. And Barb, what I like about it is you have multiple videos, then you
Right.
have the transitions, and they have this massive library of
They
transitions.
do.
You just click it, bam, it puts it in.
Yeah.
And the other thing I love about it is if you have a video, like for example, when I shot that original video, I shot it in a 16:9, which would be shot like this, more for YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But then when I took it to CapCut, it went like this, because then you can choose 9:16.
Right.
That's one of the things I love about it, that you can switch the format very easily.
Yeah.
Whatever platform you're doing. And yeah, Cindy, that's a great song. Yeah, Thunderstruck, you think, for a football. Yeah, seeing a guy just the reason why I was kind of cool is I was a freshman. But anyway, so Barb, talk to us now that you're part of your social media team.
Yes.
How now is Illinois starting to use, to Mark's question earlier, how are you starting to use like Instagram Reels and TikTok? I want to kind of put them together, because once you make it for one, it's easy to push it out on the other.
Yeah. So there's, within our committee, everybody's kind of got their own, like, Kelly Zerby is the Facebook, and Cindy does the Instagram portion. And then, I think Mark and Becky and Bill Casey kind of handle the Twitter end. And then, we're really just trying to grow, like you guys said, the younger professionals and get them, to join IAFERD and be a part of us. So I think the way to reach them is through what they're on. And,
Right.
like you said, their TikTok is exploding. And I think that's where you need to be. And there is so much professional development out there. I mean, the little teacher tips, the things you can learn are unbelievable. And just like a snap, as you're, like, geez, you're getting ready in the morning and you're scrolling through TikTok and you're like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I'm going to do that. Whatever. I'm going to use this teacher tip. I mean, there's so many things that I've picked up just from, looking at some of the quick videos. And that's what's nice, is you can just kind of scroll through and see, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So Barb, Michelle, you have a final question for Barb, because then we want to bring Chris on.
Sorry, my internet went off, so now I'm on my phone, but that happens. But did everyone get to see the noodles?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry I missed that, but I love that, and how it got like 500,000 views already.
Yeah.
So like killing it, IAFER killing it. Sorry I missed some of it.
No, that's okay.
Hey, if you got bad internet, that's what happens.
I know, right? Like, come on.
That's all right.
So Barb, all I can say is, where can people find you on TikTok?
Oh, on TikTok. So, Cindy and I run the TikTok, and that's at IAFERD. And then my personal one is at Barb Borden 9, I think it is.
Okay.
And then Cindy's got one as well, a personal, which she does a lot of, like I said, wait, I'm looking now. Cindy, put yours in she's on. She can put hers in the thing.
Yeah, she can type
I think
it
it's
in
at
the
Cindy Lou.
I love Cindy. I love hers too.
Yeah.
Like, to make a great team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Barb, all we can say.
I see a lot of like cooking stuff too.
Sure,
Yeah.
her cooking ones are awesome. Though I
Yeah.
can't cook. You saw my well, I don't know if you saw my lunch
That's
one. I can't
definitely
even
not
handle
my
making lunches.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Life with Cindy Lou.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
So
Yep.
definitely she's an awesome cook.
Yep. Well, Barb, we just want to say thank you for coming on, and seriously, thank you for introducing us to CapCut.
Yeah.
It has really changed what we're doing. It's helped us level up. Again,
Awesome.
to your point, we don't use it all the time, but there are some
Right.
times where it really has some really, 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 really good. It makes our lives easier.
It really does. I love those fonts too, and all the different kind of ways you can make the fonts kind of transition in. It's so easy.
Yeah.
and it kind of spices up your content a little bit. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, Barb, we want to wish you all the best, and certainly cannot wait to see what goes on in your convention and what you're going to do. Starting to come up. What is first week of December, right? Is your convention in Illinois?
Second and third. I hope I said that right, because otherwise I'm going to be in trouble.
Yep. Well, Barb, we will talk to you again soon, but thank you so much for introducing us to CapCut and certainly sharing a few of your TikToks, because I got to tell you, they put big smiles on our face.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at Mark. Mark uses CapCut a lot too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's probably a pro at it.
Yeah,
I've seen some of his videos too.
Master at it. I'm not a master at anything. I'm learning every single day.
Yeah.
I'm learning, and I'm learning from others. Just like that's just me. But yeah, I have used CapCut. But
yeah, it is awesome. If you haven't tried it, I mean, definitely think you should download it and just play around with it. Throw something that you've already recorded and do a little editing with it, and you'll just see like, wow, yeah.
Yeah, this is great. See, here we go. Jamie, I will be trying CapCut tomorrow.
Nice.
Great. Tag us all in it. Tag in of Michelle Huff,
Yeah.
Barb Borden. Tag us all. We will blow it up, because I'm telling you, it's game changing.
It really is. It's so easy to use. I mean, really, my 11-year-old is using it and taught me,
Yep.
I love the on it too. Like
the what?
And the effects that you could use.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go into it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I've barely scratched the surface. I think there's so much more to it that I can, uncover and want to mess around with it a little bit. So yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thank you, Barb, for coming on the Zach Talk podcast live.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Bye.
All right. Well, Michelle, we cannot end any show without this guy. Okay. And I got to tell you, I've known him for 5 years now. And that's none other than Chris Staley from MoShape. He is our board of director, and he absolutely runs an amazing team for our marketing and communications. Without further ado, Chris, how are you? You're also a football coach. I know you liked my clip, because it got lots of views and had lots of energy, and it was just really, really cool. So, Chris, kind of talk to us a little bit about how you've been using it personally. Let's start there. You wear lots of hats, and you make some funny ones, but kind of give us a lowdown of what you do.
Yeah. So thanks for the introduction. I felt like maybe people were expecting a better looking man to pop on, but no. Yeah. So kind of like everybody else, I started with the Tick Tock, during the pandemic, and apparently I had an account because it was another app before, and maybe it was something I made and didn't realize it. But yeah, like for personal reasons, I kind of used it for a while. I didn't even make a video. I just like swiped and stuff, watching. And, then I was like, hey, I made a couple funny ones, like during a COVID times when we were all on lockdown. Like one of them's like the background is like a police officer saying, get back inside. And I walked out my front door and the sirens go off and it says, get back inside. And I freak out, just having some fun. And then, I'm just kind of transition, kind of like you guy. I'm a big 80s guy, even though I wasn't born until the 90s, but I'm a lover of, the Van Halens and the Journeys and the Queens and Metallicas. And I'm also a drummer. So I kind of use that platform to make some drumming videos, because, I used to do that on YouTube a little bit. And then I just kind of stopped because, YouTube's a great resource, but TikTok, I mean, you can literally film it and edit it and it's done, Right. And so I kind of did that a little bit. And, I find that it's very easy for me to relate with my students, because I teach kindergarten through 5th grade, but I also coach high school football. So I teach anywhere from 5-year-olds all the way up to 18-year-olds. So, for instance, recently I just did a dance trend that was going around on TikTok, and I did it downstairs I was getting ready for the day. I just showered, just got dressed. I'm like, I'm going to do this in my bathroom, like just being silly. And it was media day for our football team, and I got there, getting ready to do all our pictures and stuff. And they're like, they all start doing it, I thought they were making fun of me. And I'm like, guys, come on, man. I'm 31. I'm trying to stay up with you guys. They're like, no, coach, that was lit. Let's do one together. So we made one together. I haven't seen that TikTok yet for my football players. So I've been going to all their accounts. None of them, maybe they're hiding it from me, or maybe they filmed it and saved it because they were just being silly. But it's a great opportunity for people to just kind of it's enjoyable. Social media gets a lot of negativity, and I know Mark asked a great question earlier about how we're going to use that most shape, which I'm going to get into here soon. But there is also the burdens of if your district will allow you to do it, or your building
Right.
principal. I'm very fortunate. My building principal asked. I actually went to her and said, "Hey, just to let you know, there's some of our third graders that are following me on TikTok. Understand all my stuff's clean. It's either me drumming, something with my kids, or me dancing. Like that's really it." And she's like, "That's fine. I mean, we allow our teachers to have public Instagrams where their kids can follow, where they post stuff in their classroom, which I do. We're allowed to have Twitters and Facebook pages for our classes. So why not level up the idea and use TikTok?" So I have not really used it a lot for my physical education side of my life. And I'm going to kind of do a little bit of that. I just, I like to see people to see me like in a different light sometimes. And,
Right.
I've done some funny ones like there's a hot teacher on break challenge.
I
I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I was like,
popcorn and chilling on my couch.
yeah. It said, "Don't bother me. I'm doing hot teacher on break stuff." And then I pan over to me like sleeping on the couch. So like, that's the kind of stuff that I think is also good for us to bridge that gap with our students, to make them realize, we are humans,
Right.
and we do live everyday lives. But no, and then guilty pleasure of mine, I'm a 90s kid. So I love cover bands and like cover artists. So my big, like the thing I follow the most on TikTok is like people covering like the Backstreet Boys or like Blink 182, like that, early 2000s rock, or even, classic rock stuff like the Van Halens, like I mentioned before. So it's a really cool platform just for comedy and music and dance. And, what I love seeing right now is if you like, when you go to do your hashtags on your videos, I remember when I first did my PE related hashtag, that hashtag had only been used like 1,000 times. Now, if you type in hashtag physical educators of TikTok, I think it's been used like over 1 million times. It's up there. And so it just shows, because it tells you how many times that hashtag's been used. And so I'm just like, that is insane. And there are some people that I've never met in my life that I see on TikTok, and there's some hilarious ones. I wish I would have wrote to this guy. I will let you two know, especially Michelle. There's this guy, I can't think of who it is. He did the love story of PE basketballs, and it shows like the basketball deteriorating over time on his ball racks. And these two basketballs keep looking at each other like they're in love. And then he takes one out the rack because it's deteriorated, and he puts it in the recess bin. And so then the video pans back to the other tore up basketball by itself, and it jumps off the rack by itself and rolls out to the playground and finds the other tore up basketball, and they're back in love again. It's just, that is good stuff, It's stuff that we understand, but our kids are like, "Oh, that's funny. I get it." So I think it's a great platform. And personally, just, there's times where I'll get on TikTok right before bed or something, right? Just to kind of wind down. Then I'll be in bed at 9:00 and it's 10:30. I'm like, okay, put this down. Like, it's an addicting thing, and we've got to use it now and leverage it as a positive thing.
So, Chris, speaking of leveraging it, I think it's really important because we do know that we've got some state association leaders on that are very active in their states. Obviously, you heard Barb; she's new. Obviously, joining, Kelly Zerby and that whole team. Mark Fulmers, there in Illinois. And how do you plan on leveraging, say, Instagram Reels and TikTok moving forward? Because we're about 80 days away from our state convention coming up in mid-November. So maybe if you could share with the audience some of the planning that that people can see from MoShape as we get more closer to the kickoff of our state convention.
Yeah. So the great thing about Instagram Reels and TikTok is it's the same size. So and the great thing is, I learned something. I've heard of CapCut multiple times, but something for me that's going to be very helpful as our chair of marketing communications, and I run our media team, is I didn't realize CapCut will take a horizontal video and make it vertical for you. So that's real nice. You can post those vertical videos or those horizontal videos on TikTok. It just makes them a little smaller. And then there's the black background, which sometimes isn't a bad thing because you can add wording to fill that in. But we're definitely going to use this process and leveraging it. I'm working with my media team very heavy. Right this week, we're kind of taking this week kind of slow. We're all back to school. That's why my voice is a little hoarse. I had kindergarten through 5th grade today, so excuse me for that. Day 1 back and then going to a 2-hour football practice afterwards. But yeah, so we're just going to use that. And us at MoShape, we are very, very fortunate this year. Credit to you and Anna, our MoShape president. We've locked in a substantial amount of sponsors for a very substantial amount of money to sponsor our convention and just sponsor a lot of things we're going to do. That's really going to take our convention over the top in November and for future years. It's just going to keep growing. And one of the things is a media package for our sponsors. And so if you haven't been able to view any of the interviews I've conducted or my team has conducted in the past 2 months now, all our sponsors get a 6-second bumper reel at the beginning, which they make or I help them make, whatever needs to be done. And then at the end, we have a little end plate where it thanks our sponsors. So part of the package is we guarantee them on a rotation a 6-second sponsorship every week. And then they'll also be featured on some of our live shows, which is to come. And so one thing we've told them is at MoShape, we do have a TikTok account that is in the works to be fired up at any day now. We're working out some kinks of who's going to run it all the time because, we do have a huge team of 12 members, but there's a lot of training that goes into that, right? So what's great is our sponsors know, hey, MoShape is already thinking about the next step. Like they're not just posting YouTube videos. They know we get, we're getting 1,000 views on our Twitter posts and then another 500-600 on our Instagram. And then they know they can always go to YouTube to see all our house content. And now with TikTok, a simple video like Michelle and all of you have said in the show, it's an algorithm to where a video that may get 1,000 views on Twitter can go up to 10,000 views easily on TikTok.
Right.
And we talked about a big thing about our students, but also our future professionals. My media team at MoShape has 5 future professionals on it. I have a future professional from every single university in Missouri that has a physical education, health education program. And so what we're doing is using this to also get our future professionals to buy into our profession and realize the importance of advocacy and just leveling up our profession to where we're not just gym teachers or PE teachers, or we are physical educators. I made a joke today to one of my 2nd graders because I've seen this on TikTok and I've seen a meme before. I said, "Do you know who the smartest teacher is in the school?" And they're like, "Who?" I said, "Me." They're like, "How are you the smartest? You don't teach math." I said, "I get paid to be physically active with you guys and play games with you guys and teach you guys about your mental and social emotional health." And they're like, "Wait, you're a teacher? You get paid?" So the kids think I don't even get paid. So it was funny to me, but I'm like, wait a second. Our kids should know that we're teachers, right? They know, but they just don't understand the dynamic. They think, I guess they thought I just went to work every day and did it for free. I mean, I love my profession. I got to survive a little bit. But so this is an opportunity for us, to really grow. And us at MoShape, we're very diligent in the process. I know Barb talked earlier, in her state, they have a person in charge of Facebook. They have a person in charge of Instagram. And that's something we're working on towards here at MoShape, because just a year ago, it was just you and I, Guy, that was running all of them. So then I took over the role of marketing communications chair 2 years ago as you moved into a different role, and now as our future president. And it was still just us two, even though you moved into that other role of director of digital media and promotions. So we're working on training some of our members because, for all state leaders out there, one thing Guy and I talk about all the time, if you are going to use these platforms, always remember to protect your brand, because you don't want to put something out there that's going to, and Mark brought it up earlier about, it's sometimes like your administration may not support it, and that's tough, right? So so we're just really excited at MoShape to be able to take these videos, not just our interviews, but fun stuff. We're going to challenge our members all over the state. Haven't announced this yet, so if you're watching this and you're from Missouri, be prepared. We're going to do a call to action. Make videos, film, and even if you don't want to make your own TikTok account, if you have a great activity in your class, all right, or a strategy of how you teach something,
right,
send it my way. You can find my email, everything on MoShape's website. Where there'll be a blast coming out soon about how to do this, and we will share it on our MoShape account, because my number one job as the director of, I was about to say director of digital media, but so the director of our social media department and marketing communications, is I'm here to advocate for our members and share, resources and all that. And so I'm just really, really excited that we get to work with these awesome sponsors we have at MoShape now that are, just, they're great to work with. It's just really exciting to see where we're going to go from there.
Chris, thank you so much. And I know that you and I are so pumped, and I would just say, take a look at MoShape, all our accounts moving forward. We're 80 days to our convention, and I know it's going to be really exciting. So, Chris, I thought it would only be fitting is if we bring everyone back together and let Michelle lead out there. And while I'm bringing people up, Chris, there is one last question for you. So I will play it or post it from Mark for you as I bring in our guests to let Michelle lead us on a group TikTok. There you go.
How about them Cowboys? Hey, Mark, I've been saying that since 1995 when I was 5 years old. So I'm not gonna comment on that. I really hope so. But Mark did ask a question earlier, Guy, and I wanted to address this. He asked how much time each day do you think you might spend on TikTok or social media? It's a hurdle for anyone married with children. Well, Mark, we've met, I'm not a good person to ask because I kind of right now run all of MoShape's social media accounts. So I spend a lot of time on social media, and that's really tough. Teaching 8 hours a day and then coaching high school football for 2.5 hours. But in all honesty, my media team does help me out a lot to where, I do all the editing stuff, but they help me tag team posting things. And one thing at MoShape is we have a process before we post something. When I'm done with an interview, before I post like the interviews or the content and like the tweet that goes with it, it goes to Guy, it goes to Anna, it goes to Tom, our exec, it goes to so many people to where now it's a train, and we have a calendar. Like I would love to share with any of you leaders that want to know how I do my media calendar. It's literally on Google. And it literally says film date, post date, and then like there's a checkbox like was it filmed, was it edited, and it's now to where it's like it's not a long process. Now, me personally, I'll be honest, like my Twitter, I wish I spent more time using as professional development for me. But at this moment, I'm on MoShape's Twitter more than I'm on my own. But yeah, I'd say now that school started, I probably spend an hour a day. I do try and limit it. I do have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old that last week only saw me 2 out of 7 days because of back to school meetings, because those were great. They were riveting and I learned a lot. And then sarcasm. And then obviously football practice. But yeah, it's a hard balance. And I think that's important for everybody to balance that, just like teaching, right? We don't want to get burnt out. It's very hard sometimes. Like I went in today, I was like, it's the first day back. At first year in 1995. Well, I was learning how to throw a football, Mark. So if you would have been my teacher, maybe I wouldn't be a teacher. I'd be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. But no shot at my kindergarten PE teacher. I don't even know what her name was, but I know it was a girl. I remember her. But anyway, we just got to be smart with what we do and everything and not get burnt out. I went in today, day one back. I was like, okay, 2022. This is going to be the first normal year we've had in 3 years. So I went in guns a-blazing. After 5th, 4th, and 3rd grade, kindergarten walks in. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Slow down, Chris. Like, so that's the same thing with media. We've just got to be smart and not burn ourselves out. So thanks, Mark, for the questions, and go Cowboys.
Okay, I'll discard that goes Cowboys comment. I was kidding. All right, so Michelle, let's wrap this show up. We want to thank everyone for being here, and Michelle's got a great activity for all of us. So lead us out.
Minus the fact that I'm on my phone, so everyone else here will be on their phone, but I'll talk it through. So we are going to all make a TikTok together. And Chris was just talking about how we don't want to get burnt out, so we got to support one another. So I would love for you all to go to my TikTok page. And if somebody is on YouTube and can at Miss Huff _HPE. Students are struggling with DoorDash driver. So you're gonna go to my TikTok, and the first video. Did anyone put at Miss Huff _HP? Or am I going to?
Hold up.
Okay.
You
Are we
want
going to your
Michelle?
pin video?
So search for at Miss Huff _HP. Like, go to my profile. Thumbs
Got
up
it.
when there. That's what I would do with my students. Thumbs up. Got
Yep.
Got it.
Jen?
Working on it.
Okay. Okay.
Michelle, can I make a comment?
There we go.
Your one video where you're sitting in the teal chair is awesome because it's like boomeranging your leg going up and down. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Back and in the summer be like, I'm kicking back and I'm good. So I kicked my leg
It's
up.
just
Like,
your legs going up and down. It's awesome.
that's what I needed. All right. So that first in the video that says support teachers challenge, click on that. Okay. In the bottom right corner, you're going to go to sound and use sound. You see the bottom right corner? Okay. And then it says my name and the teachers. Okay. Then you're going to click use sound. It'll be like a red button, and it's going to literally just say, hey, you. And if you support teachers, raise your hand. And that's your first TikTok. So if you guys all want to do it right now, let's do it. Come on. I can't do it myself because I don't have my phone. Who's going to do it first?
I'm trying.
Should we all mute?
Are we doing it like right now?
Yeah, do it. You don't have to post this one, but just to show that you could do it in 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say I am busted right now. I don't know if I want to do that.
Why? It's my voice. Come on, just say raising your supporting teachers. Go ahead, get them hands raised. Hey, you. Raise your hand if you're in support of teachers. Go ahead, get them hands raised.
Got it.
I heard.
Hey, you. Raise your hand if you're in support of teachers. Go ahead, get them hands raised.
Is it not? That's not the most awesome thing. Looking at Jen over there in the corner.
I know.
Go ahead.
So I hope everybody enjoyed it too, and thank you all for joining.
Raise
And,
your hand if you're in support of
I did have instructions, but I got kicked off my.
hands raised.
Okay, so help us out here now. What are the hashtags we should be using?
Hashtag support teacher challenge. Teachers challenge. Let's do a hashtag FYP for you page.
Go ahead, get them hands raised.
Let's do hashtag hashtag phys ed, hashtag health ed, or hashtag adapted P. Hashtag America. Boom. Trend it, and then you can do hashtag trending, hashtag viral. Teachers of TikTok. PE teachers of TikTok. Okay. All right. I'm done. I heard my voice a lot.
I know. It's on a loop.
It's on a loop. Okay. Well, I
See,
hope
now you got to get Bo Phillips to do that one. He's saying he's going to do a TikTok.
He says he thinks he did it. Look at that. Bo is in the house. There we go.
I knew he would.
one, and then we get the next. Let's go. Let's go.
Good job, Bo.
Yeah, nice job.
Way to go, Bo. Now you get to hear my lovely voice.
I guess I jumped the gun. No, you didn't.
That's good. This is great.
See, he got his first one done now. He's a pro.
Good job, everyone.
Exactly. So, Michelle, why don't you kind of wrap us up?
Well, that was game time. We made our first TikTok video. I hope you all had a chance to. Remember, you don't have to post it if you didn't like that first time going through. You could draft it and then post it, use the sound again, post it later. And just start scrolling and see what your niche is. And If you have any questions, you can hit any one of us that are on this screen up, and we will help to the best of our ability. All learning together. So let's support one another and get on TikTok. Let's go.
Absolutely. So I just want to thank this amazing group of guests tonight. Chris Staley in the house, Jen from Minnesota, Jessica from Minnesota, and Barb from my home state of Illinois. And certainly my amazing co-host, Michelle Huff. I'm Guy Danoff. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight, right here on the Zag Talk Podcast Live. Thank you all and have a great night.
Thanks.
Thank you.